And just like that, it's another episode of Ears Up In Depth with myself, Jason, and my personal co-host talent, Jeremy. How are you doing, Jeremy?
I'm great. I've missed you. I'm happy to be back.
Me too, man.
You know,
I do like doing the show as much of like a lead up it is to like, Stress Town sometimes to get everything written in time and even just finding news. It's so fun to do the show, mainly just because we get to BS.
Well, I think the thing that people don't realize is you can't prepare. There's an automatic crunch time because you can't prepare too much in advance because it is news.
Right.
Like I don't want to talk about things that happened like Monday of last week. So it's like I do kind of hold off before I even start thinking about it. And then all of a sudden it's like Monday afternoon or Tuesday afternoon. I'm like, oh God, I gotta do something here.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We normally record Thursday.
We normally do Thursdays, yeah. So today's a little bit of a, strange one. But that's fine. We're working around your schedule, man. That's all right.
I know.
I'm okay with it.
I know. Well, thank you.
All right. Yeah, you're very welcome, man. Let's see. Before we get started, Jeremy, I wanted to know if you watched the Great British Bake Off at all.
I don't watch it. I know what it is, and I've seen maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
Okay.
That's it.
Taryn and I love it.
Yeah.
It's the greatest. It's a lot of fun. And it's sort of like, fed our baking addiction. Actually, just sort of started it, really. Because we're like, oh, we could do that. Whatever. I make a bread. I could probably do a babka. Turns out I can. But anyway, so we were watching one of the seasons, and one of the challenges, or the day, they have different days, right? Or different episodes centered on like bread or, can or chocolate or whatever. This one was on batter.
Batter.
Yeah. And so one of the challenges was to do churros.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And, we all know that the Brits have a different way of saying things. I mean, more accurately, we've been super lazy and sort of cleaved off how to say different stuff. But, they say, instead of inventory, they say inventory, right?
Inventory.
Laboratory, aluminium, like all that kind of funky stuff.
January. They don't say January. They say January.
But
I like it.
Have you ever heard them say churros?
No.
Well, I got bored one day and I went through that episode and it took me 2 hours. And I did a super cut of every single time they said churros. And I put it on our Ears Up YouTube page. And so I'm going to play it for you.
Can I guess how they say it?
Yes.
Churros.
Churros?
Yeah, like cha. I bet they don't say chur. They say cha.
Close. But here it is. It's 44 seconds. And it infected my brain so much that I had to do this. Here it is. Wait. Here it is.
Spanish delicacy, churros.
Oh,
Your churros. You can make churros or churros that are hard. Churros.
I love churros.
My first set of churros.
Churros.
It's sweet churros.
Matcha tea churros. The churros. Bunny churros. Churros.
The churros.
So here's churros.
My churros.
Filling her churros.
Put inside that churros, the actual texture of the churros.
Fill her churros.
Churros.
I'm making churros.
Churros batter. It's the churros.
You've got 1 hour left on your churros.
Churros.
Churros in Spain.
Churros. Churros alarm clock.
For a churros
The interior of the churros, within the churros itself.
of the nice churros.
Right thickness for a churros.
Benjamina's churros.
The right thickness for a churros. Like it's singular and it's plural at the same time.
Yeah, they don't eat a churro.
No, they don't eat a churro. They eat a churros. Or they went and got multiple churros. It's not, it's just, the word is churros. And I don't get it. And it flips my wig, man.
Is a singular churro a churro?
Sometimes, if you listen to the video, sometimes it is, but rarely. It's mostly a churros.
But I mean, are they doing it right? Like, we have to ask someone who, a Spanish person.
No. No, it's churro.
So there's such thing as a churro.
Sure, it's singular. I mean, I don't know.
But sometimes you get words that are.
But I think in Spanish, it's the rules are much more solidified with stuff like that. Like, we're archaic. We go wherever. We don't even care. But I think in Spanish, and it's also the pronunciation of os.
Churros. Yeah, they do.
It's like that. That's really what got me. So anyway, enjoy that. Hopefully next time you guys go to Disneyland or Disney World or wherever you go get your churros, I really hope you'll order it like this and think of this video.
The Brits are an interesting people. They say
they are.
They don't. You know how we say correctly paella? They call it paella.
Oh yeah, for sure. God.
But if you ask them if they're going to Barcelona, then they're correct and they go Barcelona.
Barcelona. You're right.
So exactly. they're on certain things. They will do correctly, but they will not do the double L in paella. They refuse. There's
another food thing like that we've noticed too watching this show. You guys should watch the show if you're into linguistics at all or even baking in general. It's very, very interesting. The things like I would never say tortilla or I'm going to San Jose for San Jose. I would never do that. So I just don't understand like I just don't get it. But that's me. Whatever. Anyway, Jeremy, what's up, man? Who's going first?
Oh, our show prep fell apart again.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I blame you for that one.
Why don't you start off?
Okay. This one is well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read my short one first. This is not necessarily Disney Parks news, but I was pretty excited about this. This is pretty cool. The NHL and Disney reach a, quote, groundbreaking 7-year multi-platform broadcast deal. This was announced on Wednesday, which was last week, I think. The NHL and Walt Disney Company said they've reached what the NHL commissioner called a groundbreaking 7-year TV streaming and media rights deal that will bring games to ABC, ESPN, and streaming platforms. I like hockey. I'm a big hockey fan, although not in the past couple of years. I'm a big Sharks guy, San Jose Sharks, but they just lose consistently, so I had to take a break. But this season, I'm sort of back. We're watching all the games now, and they're still losing, but that's okay because it feels good to watch hockey again. I'll be honest with you. The partnership, which will begin with the NHL's 2021-2022 season, is highlighted by the exclusive coverage of the Stanley Cup Final on ABC in 4 of the 7 years of the agreement. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed, but was widely reported to be worth between $2 billion and $2.5 billion. So you're splitting hairs there, I guess. In total, there will be 100 exclusive regular season games per season across ESPN's networks and streaming platforms. That I don't like because they're sort of doing that with the NBC's streaming Peacock app, if you ever heard of that.
Sure.
With Premier League Soccer, where they'll have some games on NBC Sports and then some on Peacock Premium, and it's I don't know, man. It bothers me personally because I'm not going to pay for yet another streaming service. So I can't. So I have to pirate it, and that's fine. I can do that. But it sounds like
you think about people who feel the same way about certain, like The Secret Show being on Ears Up Plus or whatever, Patreon. Same thing.
It is the same. Well, it's not really the same thing because we're not a multi-billion-dollar company.
Do you think there's a big black market in, in depth or not in depth, but what's on there?
Patreon exclusive content.
Your Patreon exclusive content. You think it's going around?
Oh, us for sure. For us specifically, I think it probably has. I'm sure friends like shared the show and be like, "Hey, listen to this. This is stupid.
Check this out."
Yeah.
And what's your feeling on that? Do you think it's a benefit because maybe someone might have liked it?
That's a good question, Jeremy. I don't know the answer to that.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that I would, on the one hand, I would be upset if I found that out because that's $5 that we desperately need because, I need to replace my cables. I need to do this and that, right? It's like the money that we're making isn't going to paying people, $500,000 a year in salaries and, whatever, right? It's going to like literally buy equipment and that's it.
Right, but didn't that person pay for the right to do with that? Like they paid for the access.
They paid for the access.
For example,
yes.
If I download a song from iTunes and then I say, "Hey, listen to this song, friend," I paid only once. I don't know why I'm going off.
You like attacking me, and
you a little bit.
And that's fine. Well, there's a difference between going here, listen to this song, and you like playing it in your car versus here, here's this thing that I paid $5 for, in case you don't want to pay $5 for it. Like you can like shit. That's what I'm saying. It's a hard question to answer. If you're doing it like, hey, I'm sharing this with you to see if you like it, that's one thing. But if you're going, oh man, I know you like this, but you don't want to pay $5 here, I'll give it to you, then I have a problem with that. At the same time, I do that constantly with other stuff. So I'm kind of a jerk.
Okay. Well, we got to the point that I wanted to make.
Okay, right. Look, you never have to go far for me to make that point about myself.
I don't know. Yeah. For some reason, I just was curious about it. And if you drew a distinction. Anyway, I didn't mean to derail your segment.
Well, you know what? The other thing about like the streaming platforms and stuff, especially Peacock Plus or whatever it is, Peacock Premium, is that I don't want to pay $5 for all of that content. If there was a way for me just to pay for soccer, I would pay $10 a month for that. But then I want all the games here. But it's the fact where the things are split out or whatever. It's like sometimes the Liverpool game isn't on Peacock Plus and sometimes it is. Secret Show is always on Patreon. So if you want it, you pay for it. But this, and it sounds like they're going to be doing that that's the business platform moving forward is you kind of gate that monetarily and you get people coming in and coming out. And the goal is to just trap you in this streaming service. It bothers me, but what am I going to do? Yeah, additionally, the NHL's out-of-market streaming package with more than 1,000 games will be available for fans to stream only as part of an ESPN Plus subscription. So, and maybe I'm not the average hockey fan, clearly, but I only really want to watch the Sharks. I don't want to watch out-of-market. I don't want to watch the Sabres and the Blues. I don't care about that. So if there was a way for me just to watch a Sharks game and pay for it, I would do that. But anyways, I like seeing hockey get more attention than it has before. So, for me, this is a benefit. This is NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman saying, I believe it's fair to say we were both satisfied with the arrangement that we reached. And when I had this approved by the NHL owners on Monday, unanimously, they were satisfied. We think we have become more valuable over time. I agree. It's a digital highlight and international rights. And they were groundbreaking, again, like you said, and it would allow the league to benefit from the power, reach, and influence of Disney. So it's whatever. There you go. That's it. Just a real brief news story to start out here.
Maybe they would bring a ice rink to the ESPN Wide World of Sports here, Florida. How nice would that be?
That'd be cool. I mean, look, Florida has a hockey team. Panthers. No, they have two. No, the Panthers are football. Tampa Bay Lightning is your hockey team.
Yes, I've heard of that. Definitely heard of that.
All right, well, there you go, Jeremy.
Well, speaking of ice in Florida, it is starting to get warmer here, and tempers are flaring.
So it's not just you yelling at me. There's other Floridians freaking out.
It's the heat. It's really getting to us.
Okay.
It's only the middle of March.
Oh,
so
my Lord.
Get ready.
Oh my Lord.
A 51-year-old man from Palm Beach found himself getting arrested after an altercation with a cast member who asked him to comply with Disney World's mask policy.
Oh, we're still doing this. We're still talking about this. I can't believe this.
Because people are still having a problem with it. This guy, Kelly McKinn is his name. He was approached by a security guard at Disney's Contemporary Resort on February 5th. According to reports, he was attempting to enter the convention center section of the hotel when the security guard asked him if he needed directions. McKinn responded that he was a guest. And the security guard said, well, the convention center's closed. But also, would you mind putting your mask on? And McKinn allegedly that point promised, yes, I'll do it once I get inside. But the guard reminded him that masks are required at all times on any part of Walt Disney World property. So it's not just indoors. You've got to be wearing it.
Right.
At this point, it is alleged McKinn told her to leave him alone took a step towards her, and spit on her.
God.
He then disappeared into the hotel. Later on, the security guard was able to identify McKinn through security footage. He's easy to pick out. Bald head, mustache, and the biggest beard you ever did see.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of those that looks like it smells like cigarette smoke and Cheetos.
Yeah, like those pictures that you can smell by looking at it.
Yeah, it's like but he is from Palm Beach, which is I guess it has its not so nice areas. I don't know.
Sure.
Disney reached out to the Orange County Sheriff's Office to issue a trespass against McKinn. The following day, a deputy from the Orange County Sheriff's Office recognized the man to be the same one identified the previous day as having spit on the security guard. Security guard confirmed McKinn's identity from his extremely long beard. And he was subsequently arrested, but has continued to deny spitting on the cast member. Now, most people wear their masks without issues at Disney World, but a handful of visitors have been arrested lately for altercations and outbursts when they refuse to wear masks or go through temperature checks. That's a new one. I didn't know that people were refusing to just even get their temperature taken. Like,
there's a lot of weird people out there, man. This last year has really, kicked the hornet's nest as far as, crazy folks coming out of the woodwork. It's very weird. We have a lot of sovereign citizen things going on now, and I wonder if this is sort of a fracture of that.
Yeah, I mean, I asked them to tell me what my temperature is. I'm like, if you're gonna take my temperature, you should turn around and tell me what it is.
That's right. Big data. If you're collecting my personal biometric information, you better share it with me.
I don't know if they're big data, but nevertheless, I am a little curious.
Right.
One Disney Springs employee says she faced regular verbal abuse from visitors as she enforces the rules. In August, a guest named Enrico Toro was at Epcot, and he was arrested after striking and threatening to kill a security guard after being asked to wear a mask.
Nice.
In October, a woman was spotted attempting to pass off a paper napkin attached to her nose with a clothespin as a mask. And Disney security did not buy that.
No.
And they didn't let her in. But here's the thing with that. Just wear a mask. You look like an idiot. Like, oh yeah, you're really getting in one over on us. Like, you have a clothespin holding a napkin to your nose. Like, just look normal.
I think these are the people that they're in their sort of like echo chamber with their friends online or whatever, and they go, they're infringing on my rights to breathe. And then they go, oh, here's what I'm gonna do. Well, if they just want a face covering, they read this and they think that like they've read it from the company they're going to visit, right? Like the grocery store or like Disney, for example. So they feel like, oh, well, I just need to cover my face, so I'm just going to do it like this. And they can't tell me what to do. It's like that lady who took off her underwear in the store and wore it as a mask. It's like, first of all, yeah, whatever. But second of all, just bring them out. At this point, it's been a year. Everybody knows that there are places that want you to wear masks. There are some that you don't have to, and that's their business. But it's just, we have this weird fundamental, I don't know if it's a dichotomy, but it's a fracture between like, America's full of rights and we can do what we want. We have freedoms unless it deals with business. And then somehow businesses need to conform to your personal freedoms, and they no longer have the freedom to operate their business the way that they want. And it's very weird. Again, this past year's highlighted a lot of weird stuff, but like I saw some video actually of this lady in a bank somewhere who tried to enter without a mask, and the security guard's like, you got to have a mask on. And she ended up getting arrested, tackled to the ground, and she's being handcuffed, and there's people in line. So I think it was maybe body cam footage. I don't know. And like you could see people in line just standing there with their arms folded in line, just not doing anything. And she's like, this is police brutality right here, people. And the folks in line are, no, it's really not. It's really not. And it's just some older white lady just, trying to stir the pot to get this on the news so she can complain about police brutality and then sue. And I just love the clearly minority people in line going, no. It was such a perfect encapsulation of where some people's minds are.
Well, I mean, this lady, I don't know if she really thought that she was going to get away with that, because the signs at Disney do state pretty clearly the types of face coverings that they permit. So, like, they don't even allow like the face gaiters.
Yeah, no, it's good. They shouldn't.
That's not enough. And I guess maybe I think there's maybe an exception if it's double fold. No, they're not allowed at all, because I think they're good if they're double folded, but Disney's like, we don't have time to check for that. Like, no. So I think it's like, these are the face coverings you can wear. No vents, no blah, blah, blah. So clothespins holding up tissue aren't cutting it.
No, it's like performance art to these people.
At Disney's Hollywood Studios, a visitor got into an argument and then was attacked by two strangers from a large family group who weren't all wearing masks after they took shelter from the rain by the bathrooms near the Rock and Roller Coaster. One man punched the senior in the head, and then a woman from the family joined in, hitting the victim after he fell to the ground. The man, who was at least 65 years old, was not seriously hurt, but the large family left the park before the sheriff's office could arrest anyone during the incident in September. So, and now, so here's the new thing that's happening. Are you ready for this?
I am.
I saw it on Twitter. People are going into the parks with these photo printed masks. So the mask is up. The mask is covering their mouth.
Yeah.
But it's a photo of the rest of their face.
No.
With a photo of the mask. So it looks like they're not wearing a mask properly, with it down over their chin on a mask that is over their chin. So then the cast members have to say, wait, sir. And then they're like, no, it is covering. See, it's just the mask. That's the new thing taking over.
God. What? Why? This is what I don't understand. It's you're going out of your way to harass people who make a minimum wage.
Yeah, and take their eye off the ball. And like, it's just like, why do you want that attention? The last thing I want is anyone talking to me ever. So now these people are just inviting. One person was like, he's like, I counted 30 times the cast member told me to adjust my mask. They fell for it every time. It's like, you wanted a cast member to bother you 30 times during the day? Like, and then you tweeted about it. Now I got it. You're obviously an attention hungry stutz. So I get it. Like, you have to tweet about it. You got to do things. You need attention. That's what's happening here. But
right.
God,
if you need attention that bad, get a podcast. Start a podcast.
Get a podcast.
Right? Come on my podcast. Let me talk to you about it. Please. I would love to talk to this person. I really would. Because, again, what is the point? Like you said, I don't want people talking to me. I don't want my family talking to me that much. I don't want a stranger talking to me to tell me what to do just to feel superior over that person because you're already doing it. It's like, I don't know, man. I guess, I don't know. Whatever. That's stupid. I hate that. I want to talk to this person right now.
Well, I couldn't. I saw the tweet over the weekend, then I tried to find it again today so I could make sure I was correctly quoting the tweet. I didn't. And so you just got to paraphrase.
Yeah.
Had I been able to find it, I could have given you his contact information, but I can tell you this. He posted, and I think he thought he would be, he was being real cute.
Yeah.
He got, they say, ratioed.
He got a ratio. What does that mean? Because I don't really know what that means.
So ratioed is like you put something up there that you think is like so great.
Yeah.
And then
that's on my entire personal Twitter feed.
More people comment negatively than like it.
Okay.
So your ratio's out of whack. Like, you want to seem like you're really cool with just a couple of negative comments, but like 3 people like it and 100 say you suck. You got ratioed.
Okay. That's good to know, man. That's good to know.
Come to me for your social media questions.
That's right.
I don't know anything about it.
But I read something on it. All right, well, that's cool, man. Good for all these people harassing poor Disney cast members, man. It's not like the world hasn't been through enough. We just need to give people just a little bit more grief.
Well, I think this is just it. It's like, there's so much going on. Like, this is the whole, and everyone's just a narcissist. This guy did it for attention so that he could tweet about it for more attention. Like, here's a rule, guys, that'll help you. Go through life trying to make other people's lives easier.
Mm-hmm.
That, if you can approach every situation trying to say, like, I'm going to hold the door for this person, whether they're a man or a woman, whatever, just hold the door for somebody. All those things, if someone drops something, pick it up for them. All these things. Do things that are for other people. That's how you succeed. These are just people who just want to be, they can't think of anything but themselves. I hate it.
Right. Again, if you want attention, start a podcast. That's why I have several.
Yeah, like how many are you on?
I don't know, but you want to start another one?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, Jeremy, look, this has been a long time coming. Not this conversation, but the news I'm about to read to you right now. But Disneyland is finally hitting the home stretch in its drive to reopen the parks in Anaheim. Recently, under Governor Newsom's revised plans, it was announced that Disneyland would be eligible to open as of April 1st if the COVID numbers in Orange County keep dropping and shift into the red tier of the state's precautionary measures. By all predictions, that will happen soon. Some calculations put it at March 29th now, which is great, making the Disneyland Resort permitted to resume business with a 15% capacity limit on guests, which would be that's everybody's dreams to go to Disneyland with like 15% capacity, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
God, that would be amazing. For a few days after this announcement by the state, there was no word from the resort itself on when it planned to reopen. A statement from Disneyland President Ken Potrock said this, quote, "We are encouraged that theme parks now have a path toward reopening this spring, getting thousands of people back to work and greatly helping neighboring businesses and our entire community. With responsible Disney safety protocols already implemented around the world, we can't wait to welcome our guests back and look forward to sharing an opening date soon." CEO Bob Paycheck recently told investors that he expects the parks to open at 15% capacity sometime in late April, but that's about it. Meanwhile, the Disneyland Resort is rehiring thousands of workers in its build-up to reopen, no doubt training cast members on the enhanced safety protocols put in place during the pandemic, which we are still in the middle of, apparently. Part of the shift in the guidelines issued by Newsom includes the number of vaccines distributed. Now, that California includes the number of vaccines distributed. I would sound like I was on the Great British Bake Off there for a second. Distributed. Now that California has delivered 2 million COVID vaccines to low-income communities, that somehow triggers a drop in the tiers from purple to red in 13 counties. If the state can issue 2 million more, these counties can drop from red to orange as long as the rate of infections stay under 10 cases per 100,000. For me, it was a little confusing. It was like, it used to be the drop was triggered with like 7 cases out of 100,000, but it will still drop if it's 10 cases out of 100,000 if 2 million people get vaccinated in low-income areas. So, now that the vaccines are a game changer and then now the vaccines are in play, they can use that and go, okay, well, people are vaccinated, so that's already going to bring numbers down. So we don't need to be as tight with it. Which, that makes sense, man. That makes total sense for me. California hit that first 2 million milestone this past Sunday, actually, a couple days ago. So congratulations to us. That's pretty cool. Counties have to meet the state's new caseload targets for 2 weeks. But since some counties like Los Angeles have already met them for some time now, they are moving to the red tier a little bit sooner than that, after that 2-week target. In addition, counties also must meet a certain threshold for a percentage of positive tests and a, quote, healthy equity metric that includes showing that positive tests in underserved neighborhoods. I almost said undeserved neighborhoods, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right.
I thought you were going to say undesirable neighborhoods.
Well, see, there you go. But that includes showing that positive tests in underserved neighborhoods aren't significantly higher than the rest of the county, which has been sort of the problem. Like overall, LA County, I guess, was doing okay, but there were a lot of low-income neighborhoods that were giant hotspots, and so that's part of the plan is to get them vaccinated, get the vaccines out to the underserved populations in the state, and let's really try to squash these numbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the parks do reopen, don't expect the same sort of experiences you've had before, though, Jeremy. According to the Disney Parks website, quote, "As a result of the impact of COVID-19 on operations, Fast Pass and Disney Max Pass services are suspended for the time being and are not available for purchase or use. We will share future updates at a later date. Magic Morning and Extra Magic Hour offerings will also be suspended upon reopening of our hotels and theme parks as we plan to manage capacity Under the revised guidelines per Dr. Mark Galey, Secretary of California Health and Human Services, there will be both a building capacity limitation and a time limitation. A ride that takes place indoors or goes into a building for a brief period of time may open if it meets both of these requirements. So, like, you're talking at what? Alice in Wonderland, right? I don't know. Is Matterhorn technically inside a building? Big Thunder Mountain, is that technically is that a building or is it a covering? These are the questions I have. I don't know either. And also, attendance at the theme parks will be limited only to California residents. So no out-of-state travel to Disneyland. Okay. Yeah. So, that's fine for me, I guess. So why not reopen now? Why are we waiting until late April? Surely the training isn't terribly complicated, and most, if not all, of the enhanced safety measures are all in place already, right? I mean, that's what, Chapek and Iger have been saying since October. We've 28,000 different ways that we've changed the parks or whatever. Well, the Touch of Disney event, that ticketed wonder of marketing, doesn't end until April 18th. And I think that plays a semi-large part in how the parks will handle opening. I mean, you have the Touch of Disney, you sell out all these tickets real fast, and then like the next day it's announced that the parks could technically open on April 1st. Imagine buying those tickets for $75 to do nothing in DCA. I would feel a little ripped off, but
is anybody going to that? That's a little strange.
I thought they all sold out. And like there were long virtual queues to get these tickets. There's a hunger for it. And I don't understand it, but that's me. Anyway, all in all, Jeremy, it's good news that some semblance of order is returning to the world, and you can start resting easy again, knowing that It's a Small World will once more be ringing out in multiple places around the world.
Yes, I need that to happen. Right now, it's only in what? Hong Kong, Tokyo.
I thought Hong Kong was closed again.
I think it just reopened.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Well, that's good. Great.
I don't think we talked about it on here because it's like open, close.
It's a revolving door, my friend.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I'm excited for you guys. I wouldn't get too excited about that attendance number. Ours is still capped at 35. And when it's at 35, it's like the worst. Like, I don't know how did they ever get to 100? Like, it's like I've been there and I'm like, this is more crowded than I've ever seen.
Wow.
At 35. So I don't quite understand these the numbers, but I'm sure it'll be nice. And that's great.
Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Do you want me to read my thing or do you want me to do my story? My next story.
That's right. Well, you know what, Jeremy? Now's the time of the show where we hear from our good personal friend, Mr. Sean O'Sullivan.
Hi, this is Sean O'Sullivan from the 21st Amendment Brewery. Heller High Watermelon Wheat has been a long-time favorite in the stable of 21st Amendment beers. Now, Heller High Pomegranate is their latest offering as part of their new Heller High line of beers. This California Bay Area brewery has done it again, creating a fun and refreshing beer which pairs well with the season. Heller High Pomegranate is made with real fruit and is sweet and slightly tart. It's a perfect beer to enjoy during this time of year as the days are short and can brighten up any rainy or wintry day. Behind all that soft and elegant pomegranate flavor and aroma is a wonderful wheat beer with its biscuity, light, bready notes, and at a mere 4.9% alcohol by volume is quite enjoyable. Heller High Pomegranate is available across the country where 21st Amendment beer is sold.
Thank you, Sean. That was very good. Sounded a little squeaky, but I loved it.
Did I squeak?
No, I'm just kidding. Is that fun for you?
I loved it. I want to do more.
All right. We can
Cold read.
Cold read. Number one. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of my favorite events is returning ahead of schedule. Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin Hotel will for the first time hold a spring edition of its popular Food and Wine Classic. The event, which normally takes place over 2 nights in the fall on the causeway between the two hotels and features live music and an assortment of bites and sips from its many restaurants, including celebrity chef Todd English's Blue Zoo, along with wineries from around the globe. It was canceled this fall due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, though a modified multi-night food tasting event did take place over the course of several weekend nights throughout the fall, exclusive only to hotel guests. So it was back in a very limited, spread out way. Now the main event returns for just one night on April 17th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. and is open to hotel guests and non-hotel guests alike. For $125, guests can partake in unlimited food and wine and will also feature live entertainment as it does in the fall.
Unlimited food and wine?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, yeah. Why do you think I love it so much? Special hotel and ticket packages are available. Guests must be 21 years or older, and there will be a number of safety measures implemented to ensure a healthy event. Fans of the fall event need not worry. The spring event does not preclude the return of the fall event, which will return for its normal 2-night engagement, October 29th and 30th this fall. You can visit swandolphinfoodandwineclassic.com for more information. Go. It's wonderful.
That sounds fun, man.
I can't go. I'm not going to be here. I can't go.
Where are you going?
I'm going up to Jersey for a bit.
Oh, okay.
So I'm missing it by 2 nights, and I'm not happy.
No. Reschedule.
Yeah. Reschedule it, Swan and Dolphin.
No, you.
I'll be back the next week.
I have one last one that I just want to skim over, and I only want to bring it up mainly just to poke fun at you. But have you ever seen any of the Alien movies?
Oh,
like with Sigourney Weaver?
Sigourney Weaver?
Yes.
No, never seen it.
No. Really? Nothing. None of them. There's like 8 or 5 or something. I don't know.
No.
I don't know why that shocks me, but I don't know. Something about it is bothering me.
I've ridden through it because on the Great Movie Ride at Disney's Hollywood Studios, that was one of the movies that you would ride to, and that alien would come down out of the ceiling.
Was it? I don't remember that. I think I was just hating the Wizard of Oz scene so much that I just forgot about everything else.
Oh, there's even like a mannequin of Sigourney Weaver, like with its eyes going back and forth.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I have seen another outer space Sigourney Weaver movie though, called Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest is a good movie. Okay. All right. Well, you are redeemed in my eyes,
They're
Jeremy.
rebooting it.
No, they're not. Are they?
I read it. I literally read this last night.
Oh, God. Is it with the same cast?
Oh, God. My headphones fell out. Hold on. Is it with the same cast?
Yeah.
So, well, the one guy's dead. Alan
Rickman? Rickman? Snape.
Yeah, he died.
Okay.
But apparently it's coming back, and it's going to be the old cast with like new cast coming on.
Name one movie that's ever worked in. Stop already.
Jurassic World
with the old cast and the new cast together.
Sure.
I don't remember that.
Jeff Goldblum was back.
Oh.
Of course, that one sucked.
Yeah,
anyway,
go exactly. Ahead. There you go.
Go ahead. Any moral of the story? I haven't seen Alien.
Yeah. Anyway, back to me. I haven't seen it. Well, Disney now owns the Alien movies and the IP for that. So I think that's very, very interesting. Last December, Disney announced that they were developing an Alien TV series. That was kind of fun with the Fargo creator Noah Hawley. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, according to the latest intel. Small Screen, which is, I guess, a blog, I don't know, is reporting that Disney is committing to turning Alien into their next mega franchise, with their intent being to develop multiple other movies and TV shows to join the one already announced. We know that Hawley's Alien series will be headed to Hulu in the U.S. and Disney Plus Star in other territories. And the outlet says that all upcoming Alien projects will likewise be going to streaming, as Disney is dedicated to, quote, getting more adults subscribing to their platforms, which is not a bad idea. I mean, you should have some, adult-oriented content on this kind of stuff, too. As this end goal suggests, Small Screen goes on to say that the studio has no intentions of watering down the Alien franchise to make it more family-friendly, which is good. As I was reading this, I'm like, the last thing we need to do is just water down Alien. I mean, it's not that scary, anyways. It's just a cool franchise. Most of them were good. A couple of them were good, but most of them are watchable. These projects will not be rated PG-13. They will be, quote, full-blown action horror. Disney is allegedly excited to get into grips with what they see as one of their rare adult offerings, which they hope to utilize to tempt more mature viewers to Disney Plus and Hulu. So there you go. That's all. Just a little bit of alien controversy, which is
speaking of full-blown horror. They've been testing out those barges with the fountains on them at Epcot.
Oh yeah, Harmonious or whatever.
It's because everyone. This is everyone. They're like, Jeremy, you're judging them too fast. They're not done. They're not. The water's not on. The water's gonna be a fountain. It's gonna look great. Fountains, world of color.
Yeah.
They switched these sprinklers on today. You should see this. It's so ridiculous. I mean, it looks like it's sinking. I don't know what's happening. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. Also, that script you sent me for 21st Amendment, it doesn't say anything about cans at the end. I just realized.
Yeah. Well, look, that was the first, that was the first thing, man. I don't know. I'm looking up the Harmonious testing. It was our first pass. Sully and I worked on the script a little bit for the final.
Oh, well, how come I have to read the rough draft?
Like I said, I couldn't find it. I'm trying to find video for it, but like, of course, all these news sites are just not good.
It doesn't matter. Just look at the pictures. It looks ridiculous.
I can't even find that yet.
I gotta get over there.
You do, and you got it. Oh, here you go. Water testing for Harmonious Epcot. You're right. It's like for people listening. I'm the only one watching this, so it's literally for everybody. But you know those like old lawn sprinklers where you screw the hose into the side, and it's like 8 or 9 jets, and they just wave this like back and forth over the top. This is literally what it's doing. So those barges that have the arm, they start curled up, and then they're just waving those things, and the barge arm goes down while these 4 or 5 jets of water shoot up. It is like a giant hose. It's a giant sprinkler.
Right. So, but the thing that you're looking at, that's actually a demo of what the show will do at night. The show has the ability to do that. Okay. You've got to look for the picture of the daytime testing of just it as a fountain, like not performing, like just water. Is that what it's going to be?
It's just going to be a fountain during the day,
as far as we know.
Daytime.
It's so bad. And I should do is put what it really looks like in person versus the concept art that they, the bill of goods they sold us, and just put them next to each other. It's the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. It's like, this doesn't look anything like this.
This video is
maybe it's still not done.
Sure, maybe not. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know. You'll have to send it to me, man.
Oh God! All right.
I can't find it. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I retweeted it. You can look at that.
Well, I don't want to do that.
Follow Spectral_Radio on Twitter. Now, look at my retweets.
Look at my retweets.
You peeping my retweets?
Let's see. Now I'm going to look for it. Now I'm just going to dig through it. I'm going to cut all the shit out anyway. I mean, stuff.
Oh, Mr. P is defending them because he's such a Harmonious apologist. And he says they're probably running calibrations. All right.
I did see a still photo. Yeah,
but
that is
also
stupid.
Okay, if that's what Mr. P thinks, fine. I love you, Mr. P.
Yeah.
But do we have to do it in the middle of broad daylight? Like, can we not do this after park closes?
Well, I mean, if they're going to be running during the daytime, they got to know how it looks, right?
Okay, well, Epcot doesn't open until 11. So you got 7 a.m. to 11. There's a nice chunk of time to do this.
Okay.
The parks are for show.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Like, why do you... If this is how it's going to look when it's on, why do you care that it was on for 5 minutes and then turned off? Like, why?
Because if they're doing...
Don't get mad at me. Don't take that tone with me. Your face was so like... You were like laser focused on this, you got a little mad at me.
I didn't get mad at you. Because...
Smile when you say that. Thank you.
They're going to have it on, if Mr. P is right and they are doing calibrations, then that means it's not show ready.
Yeah, but what does Mr. P know?
And therefore, it shouldn't be on when paying guests are in the park. If you want to calibrate it and you need daylight, do it up until 11 o'clock before the park opens. It's ridiculous. It doesn't even open until 11. Well, now you've got all this time. Take advantage of it. And then when people walk in the park, get it out of there.
Well, I mean, it's also, if it is for testing, it's probably also just to get people jazzed up for it too, this is what this thing does. That's kind of cool. And, I don't know. Overwhelmingly, do people hate it? Or is it just you?
Please. I think overwhelmingly people hate it.
I don't know.
Of course, if you follow the Disney food blog, all the people who like that they're giving it like 55% thumbs up.
Well, I mean, that's half. I don't know. Speaking of Disney food blog, did you ever review the cookie?
Thanks for knowing. Yes, I did. I put it up.
Was it good?
Why don't you read the I can't believe it. I tweeted it. I put it on Insta. It was my story.
I don't really engage with Twitter a whole lot, man. I'm sorry.
Instagram.
Yeah. That's
anyway, I did do this. Okay. And let me tell you something. Go to spectrumradio.us and read all about it. No. The Gideon's cookie.
Yeah.
I have to say that I underestimated it.
A rare retraction.
It is that. Now, is it a 4-hour wait good? No. But you can do virtual queue, which we did, and it was 4 hours. So you could leave, you could go to a restaurant, whatever. 4 hours later, we went back. It was maybe 5 more minutes before we could get in.
Mm-hmm.
The cookie is so good.
Why is it so good?
It weighs a half of a pound.
Oh, I don't.
One cookie.
Why is it so good? What's so good about it?
So thick, and it's covered. I got the I think it's called triple chocolate. So there's like their classic chocolate chip cookie, which is like a blonde batter with, whatever. I like chocolate, so I was like, I want the chocolate batter.
Oh yeah,
covered in chocolate, dark chocolate chips, a sprinkling of sea salt. It took me 3 days to eat it because I don't have that much of a sweet tooth, so it's like a bite, and I'm like, okay, that's good. So
sure,
but it's also, it weighs so much. But that the sleeper of this place really is the iced coffee. I had a ginger snap cold brew. You can't. I'm usually, if I go get a cup of coffee, the first thing I do is like head to the sweet and low and the heavy cream. Like that's how you taste good. Like really? I can't drink like black coffee and skim.
Black coffee all the way, baby.
There's no fixins bar for coffee, and there's a reason, because this coffee is ready to drink. You don't have to mix it. You don't have to do anything. They hand it to you. It's so good. Biodegradable straw. And my friend got the peanut butter cup cold brew, and he said that was the best coffee he's ever had. So, I mean, it's just absolutely astounding.
What happened to coffee just tasting like coffee? Why do you need peanut butter coffee? Who wants to do that?
Well, if you want to try, you want to change things, the variety. It's the spice of life. Like the ginger snap coffee. I was like, this tastes so good.
No, I don't
so
know.
That was great. And then the interior of it, you would like. I walked in and I was like, oh, this reeks of Petra.
Why?
It's like
pictures of me all over the place.
No, that's what I did. My guerrilla marketing for Ears Up. I just put pictures of you in places.
Thanks, man.
It's like the inside is like all spooky. It's like a cross between, it's like the Haunted Mansion overlay of Nightmare Before Christmas. It's got this weird gothy kind of vibe. It's really dark. There's like, they're using like whatever water vapor or whatever to make it look like there's smoke coming up out of the counter.
Oh yeah, that's
There's
me.
Test tubes everywhere, broken down bookshelves.
Oh, I would love that. That sounds amazing.
Would love it. Weird art, all just very weird and dark. But if you go to my website, spectralradio.us, you'll see photos of all of it.
That's still up? Well, you know what's funny is that Taryn's coworker is invited us to a cruise in like February.
A Disney cruise?
No, but it leaves out of Orlando.
Orlando is landlocked.
I know, but that's where we would, I guess, fly into or whatever.
Yeah, and then it's Cape Canaveral or Port Canaveral.
So if we do that, maybe we'll hang out at your house for a little bit.
Suddenly I'm quite popular.
Yeah, we're in demand. I'm looking at this right, but
we'll go to Gideon's.
Right, that's what I'm saying, right? Did I ever tell you about my? I probably mentioned this before, but like if I had $1 million, I would spend it all on opening a bar that has these kind of kitschy thing. It's like it would be like Trader Sam's, but more haunted mansion and more animatronics that works properly. That would be my sort of vibe. Is this sort of like dark thing, but animatronic? Yeah, I'm looking at that's cool, man. You know what this looks like? It looks like sort of more Harry Potter, from Wizarding World or like Diagon Alley than it does like a Disneyland thing.
Got it.
With like the bookshelves and stuff. But yeah, it's this picture won't load, but that's fine.
Oh, that's too bad.
Okay. Yeah, no, it looks cool, man. That looks really fun. Yeah. Speaking of blogs, I posted one last week, I think, on the many faces of the Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know if you've looked at that.
I didn't.
See, there we go. Go check that out. It's on Ears Up Podcast, whatever it is. Anyway, and it's
Ears Up -podcast.com.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. I don't care anymore. But it's actually if you go Ears Up Podcast with an S, it'll take you. I was smart and bought all the redirects. So anyway,
did you?
Yeah. But it, I go through and I show you all the animatronics that use the same faces throughout the ride. And it's part 1. I'm going to have at least one more, if not 2 more.
Oh, that's exciting.
Coming out at some point. So that's kind of fun. So you can go check that out too. Yeah. All right. I think we're done.
Did you tweet about it?
Maddie did. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wonder if I retweeted it.
Probably not. You probably didn't. All right. Well, I think we're going to get out of here, Jeremy. For you guys listening live, we are doing the live show tomorrow, the Ears Up main show, which is me and how Walt Disney influenced the space race. So that'll be a long show. If you like my voice, you're going to love this show. And then it's the secret show after that, too, which I haven't posted to Patreon yet, but I will definitely do that. I'm also thinking again about reorganizing the Patreon things because I can't keep up with what I've promised everybody. So that'll probably be coming in a couple of months. So there's a lot on the horizon, and we'll figure it all out together, though. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Is that it, Jeremy?
That's it.
All right. No, Sully. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're doing this one. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Jeremy, thank you very much for your hard work doing these news stories. I had fun as usual. Everybody, be safe out there. We're right around the corner. Things are, we've rounded the corner. We're down the street from this thing opening up and everybody getting back to normal. So stay safe for a little bit longer, and get vaccinated when you can. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see you later. All right, whatever.
Hello, it's Sean O'Sullivan.
Whatever. All right, we are still live, though. We can talk to everybody for a little bit.
What is RGH talking about? Man, there are some tough matchups for this run. What does that mean?
So over on the Bantha Milk podcast, they're doing like a March Madness bracket. It's like a Star Wars March Madness thing. So they did round 1, and then I think he just tweeted out round 2. So my bad, Rob, for not mentioning that on the show, but you did just text it to me, so I don't really care. Yeah, and it was hard, man. The first round, I'm like, I don't fucking know. Jeez, man, you're trying to break my childhood here, putting these people up, and then some of them I didn't really know. Like anybody from the Clone Wars TV show or the cartoon, Rob, I had no idea who they were, so I just guessed. But there were some tough challenges, that's for sure.
I don't know how brackets work. Like when it's not an actual thing happening.
This is what you like.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then
like what your favorite thing is.
You vote?
Yeah. So I think
people like Chewbacca advances to the next round.
Correct. Wow, look at you. Did you just read that in the chat and that's how you knew Chewbacca?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I know that that's a person,
Sure.
but like I don't know.
Right. I would have been impressed if you pulled it out of your head. Then I'm like, okay, well there you go. It sticks in there with you. It's not just recognition, but it's regurgitation.
Well, also, what is his name? Doesn't he go Chewie? We're home.
Han Solo, yeah.
Yeah.
Chewie,
it's Luke Skywalker.
It's Luke Solo.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, I should do a Mr. P says I should do a Titanic bracket.
Oh my god!
So it's just like, who do you like best on the boat? I go for
So it's like the 16 teams, and they go to 8, and then it goes to 4, and then the winners, and then those two battle it out. And then you
I like,
and people put it online. It's like a marketing thing. So you fill out your bracket, and then you would do like a live. That's what you should do. Actually, that's a good idea, Mr. P. You should put that out all over your social for like 2 weeks, and then you do a live Spectro Radio thing where you go live and you do the bracket, and then like if anybody gets all of them correct, then they win a shirt or something like that.
Okay.
Like,
I have been really putting some thought into doing a Spectro Radio jazz trivia night.
Oh,
that's been in the hopper.
Okay, well that'd be cool, man. I have a bunch of those facts of the show. I can give you that document if you need trivia.
Would be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds like fun. Let me know when you do it, and we'll try to tune in. I still can't tune in. I have to do it. I have to do it on like online. I can't do it over my Sonos. I don't know why. It's not you. It's the friggin' thing. It doesn't work for me sometimes. Like with the Sonos app, I can't even log in to like change the friggin' channel on the thing. It's weird.
Huh.
I
don't know how that works. I don't know Sonos. I don't have it, so I don't really know how it works or what goes on.
It doesn't work well. I mean, the speaker itself is great, but the app is just, it won't fucking connect, and I don't understand why. Like, Taryn and I will be on the same Wi-Fi network. I can't connect. She can.
So weird.
It's annoying.
Yeah, I bought this Apple HomePod.
Okay.
And again, it's the same thing. Like the sound is wonderful when it doesn't drop the signal. Like I'm streaming my phone to it, and then it just is like, then all of a sudden it's just playing on my phone. I'm like, what is going on here? It just drops the signal. It's such a piece of crap. And I had to call Apple like 6 times to get it up and like finally running and even working correctly. And it's like such a waste of money. Like I would rather just buy like a Bose dock and plug a phone into it, and then I don't have to worry about anything. Like what is all the wireless is a joke. It doesn't work.
Well, and I think this is the problem, sort of what I was relating to with like all the streaming services that are out there. There's too many things competing for your streaming, and then people want to compete with the bottom dollar, so the parts are cheaper. And you can make any speaker sound good now. There's algorithms and all the processing. You can smash everything down and expand the bass, and you can do all this kind of stuff, and everything is fine. People just think, oh, you put a little bass in it, and that's just the way everything should sound, and it's not. But whatever, you can do that really cheaply. But there's so many options that it needs to be lower priced so people can buy it for like mid $100. But it doesn't work very well. And now we're sort of coming full circle to what you just said. Why don't I just plug my phone into the thing? And then that's it. Or like work on Bluetooth. I don't know why it needs to be over Wi-Fi. I don't know why it can't go Bluetooth. But even then, we have a Bluetooth speaker for outside. That doesn't connect to my phone sometimes. So I have to like unpair it and then repair it. And it's like we can send cars to Mars, but we can't make Bluetooth that doesn't need to be paired again. That's right. What baffles me all the time. I don't understand it.
But I'm perfectly happy. I used to have this wonderful iHome speaker, and it had a USB. It was a great USB. And while it was playing, it charged my phone. It was absolutely wonderful. Now, forget it. And this is the other thing about Apple, okay?
Yeah. Go off, King. Yeah.
Like Apple changed it. Like you can't use a regular headphone on the iPhone. They don't have the little 3.5 millimeter jacks anymore. You have to use Apple's Lightning
cable or
headphones.
Whatever. Right. And you can't
get an adapter.
There's no adapter. I mean, you can get an adapter.
Right, but the adapters never really quite work. Like it's all like crickly and crackety. So it's like, well, what if you want to charge your phone while you're on the plane and listen to your show. You can't.
That's
You
the
either
same
have
with
to charge or you have to listen, but you can't do both.
That's the same with Google. Look at my port. That's the same thing.
What is this about? Who said that's okay?
Supposedly it's to get more like room in the phone, but I don't believe that shit. I think it's just a way for them to make you buy new chargers, buy all the new equipment, buy all the new stuff. In 5 years, this will be obsolete. And you know what? We probably won't even have a thing. It'll just be wireless. Like
I'll just think of a song.
I have a wireless charger, so like sometimes I don't even plug it in. But like they're going to expect you to have Bluetooth headphones, which I don't want to do. And it's just a thing, and I don't know. I don't like it. But there is this sort of like, as much as what you said, but getting a dock and plugging in is analog, as much as it can be analog, I think there is some sort of like condition or some like longing for that. Like, let's just go back to the basics. That worked just fine, because these wireless things don't work as well as we expect them to, and then it's always our fault or our network's fault. It's never the thing. I mean, the Sonos app has like 3 stars on Google Play because it sucks. It's a shitty app.
Well, the problem is they've decided to use an imperfect technology to substitute a great technology that just always worked. Like, when did a cable plugged into a phone not work? It worked all the time, and now I'm like, hickory, wickory, dickory, do. I don't know if it's going to connect. It's just like this. It's like, who knows what's happening? And it's like, turn off this and then restart. I just want to listen to the song. I could have done this 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I just can't take it anymore. But this is like, it reminds me of the story about how, like, when during the space race in the 60s, we spent all this money to develop a pen that would write upside down, and the Soviets took a pencil.
That's very funny.
Millions of dollars into this pen that writes it down. It's like, just plug it in.
Right. But then, the Soviets, what happens when the lead breaks? Then you got lead floating around, then you have to crank, you know what I mean?
To the pencil sharpener and crank.
Right. Float over there. I'm excited for the show tomorrow, man. There's a lot of like, doing a lot of research on it. And, it's like what happened leading up to the space race, on the Disney side of things.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's going to be cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. The hard part is, and I'm saving most of this for, I'll give everybody still listening like a little window into my weird brain. But like, you've heard of the problems with like Disney working with these, German scientists or whatever, who were literally Nazis. They were in the Nazi party and they did things in concentration camps and whatever. And it's like, I'm not going to go into it in any sort of detail tomorrow's show. I want to save it for a Pyramid to Eye the Ears, show, where I can do more research on it. But it's like reading about some of these things that these German scientists did in order to get the knowledge that enabled us to go to the moon is like, it's weird, man. And like seeing Walt Disney and Ward Kimball like talking to these Nazis, it's just like, what would these people be thinking 10 years out of the war? And here we are, Walt Disney has a German scientist on telling us how we're going to get to the moon. And it's just, I don't know, man. I would be livid if I was a vet.
Werner von Braun was basically the person who came up with the Apollo mission. Without Werner von Braun, we would not have gone to the moon or had the space shuttle.
Yes, sort of. So that's what I'm sort of learning. Like the Russians were developing something already, but they did send a scientist into Germany after the U.S. cleaned it out to like read through all the documents and stuff. So the Russians were on the way. They would have got there eventually, but yeah, it wouldn't have been the way that we did it or how well we did it. And especially because the Americans were trying to do their own. And Werner's like, I have all this, like I've been writing about it for 10 years in Collier's, like what, and they go, no, we're going to do the Vanguard thing. We're going to do this. And then the Vanguard launch exploded and they're like, maybe, maybe you were right. And like Werner already had like the Jupiter 2 or whatever it is. And he's like, yeah, we can just use this. It's fine. Yeah. So, absolutely.
I finished a book last week called Into the Black, which is basically the story of the space up until Columbia, the first Enterprise in Columbia, the first actual one that landed in space. But it talked a lot about that, and that Collier's cover with yeah, it's interesting how we did it. And we got the space shuttle because Europe, the French and the British took the Concorde to a meeting in the Azores, and Nixon showed up and was on just a Boeing aircraft, and he had been waiting to decide if he was going to fund the space shuttle. And when he got there, and when the French president arrived on the Concorde in half the time, he came back and he was like, the space shuttle's approved.
God, everything comes down to just how efficient a bureaucrat could be, you know,
Totally.
or it's one-upsmanship all the way.
And how big of a pissing contest they were having.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
Anyway, well, that's it for me, Jer. I'm gonna go.
Great.
I'm gonna end this stream. I love
Good
everybody
luck with
for
your show
hanging out.
tomorrow.
Thanks, man. I apologize. Jeremy was supposed to be on the show, everybody, and Bev screwed it up.
Yeah, screw Bev.
Yeah, she is fired.
It's okay. I'll have to figure out when is a good time for me to do this segment now. Maybe I'll just do it as a Spectro Insider.
No. I mean, you can pre-record it tonight, and then I can just play it tomorrow. But tomorrow's show is going to be long, and we have the secret show that night. Like, it's not. You want to join us? Oh, you can't because you're fine. I'm sorry. I really screwed the pooch on that one, bro.
I might be. Well, no, I can't. Thursday. I've got too much going on Thursday morning to do a secret show.
All right.